welcome to my channel. I'm Allie, and what I am doing today is a battle vest retrospective. I am working on a new vest, and I am currently wearing my first vest. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be matching my hair and... Oh, I'm supposed to take these off for this, because I didn't wear glasses until I was 16. Doing a hair and makeup retrospective, plus going through what's on my battle vests. I probably can wear my glasses because I can't see shit. So I'm going to be interspersing clips of me showing off my outfit with explanations of what's on this shit and what's going on with it. So. Here we go. This is my first punk jacket, battle vest, whatever you want to call them. The jacket itself was given to me by my aunt because she was sick of seeing me wear my uncle's military shirts to school, because she was like, no, those are fucked up and destroyed. So get these jackets instead, and these ended up also becoming very fucked up and destroyed. I've got some simple detailing like the camo on the collar, and I've got rainbow on the cuffs, or on at least one cuff. That was a pair of socks that I used to have that I couldn't wear the socks anymore, so I cut them apart and made a cuff for my jacket out of it. This is also covered in signatures. I think this is the Archies. I'm not 100% sure. I got a bunch of signatures and from like a magician and a couple bands and just some weird stuff on it, but let's see. So I guess we're gonna start top down. So there's the collar, and I've got the little stars stitched on. I added a pocket because you can never have enough pockets. This little jewelry thing became another pocket. Got my American flag peace sign that was supposed to be like peace in the USA, I guess. These are actually Girl Scout badges because when I started making this vest I was a Girl Scout, so these are my troop wings and a little Girl Scout rainbow badge that I liked because at that time I wasn't out as bi, and this was a secret way of doing that. I've got three little tree spikes on each shoulder, which are cute in retrospect. I think this is an Offspring patch. I don't really listen to Offspring anymore, but I did then. Gotta keep them separated. There's Gizmo from Gremlins, a Trust No One patch that I had no idea had anything to do with the X-Files because I didn't watch the X-Files. Nirvana, obvious. Psycho, which in retrospect is perhaps a bit ableist. A tie-dye yin-yang thing, and I think that's it for this arm. Then over here I have my smiley face, Evil Dead patch, a little peace sign, Amoeba Music, which that's still cool as fuck, the Union Jack, Rocky Horror Picture Show, Slacker, Punk, another signature. I think this was the Magician. On the back, I've got the Hawaiian flag because my aunt took my sister and I to Hawaii for spring break the year that she got this for us, and she was like really into Hawaii. She had been stationed at the Navy base in Hawaii for a while and was actually born the day that Hawaii became a state. So it was like she was really into Hawaii. Then I've got the Who, a homebrew Army of Darkness patch that was a transparent, or that was an iron-on printed on a shirt that then started peeling, and I couldn't wear the shirt anymore because if I washed it enough, like, it just peeled up. So I cut it off the shirt and turned it into a patch, and I think this is the last thing on here other than the writing, but this is a patch that I made. This little hand-stitched guitar pick shaped thing. It's for Talking Shadows, the band I wanted to make with my sister and her best friend, Jen. And, like, yeah, I made a little logo and I named our band. I think we were going to sing songs about monsters. Pretty sure that's what the plan was with that. But, yeah, that was a cute little thing that I did, and I'm still, even now, like, years later, like, that's pretty decent embroidery for a 16-year-old who probably had better things to do. Like, good job. DIY or die, baby Allie. And then, yeah, there's writing down all over the place. And I don't know how much I can read any of it. Something, jacket. But this is, the jacket's name is Bruce, so it's written on there in Sharpie, Bruce the jacket, and I went over it every time I washed it, and I had written on the inside, this is all property of Allie and everything, so this is a very silly little thing, but this was my very baby's first battle vest, and I liked it. It was cute, and I wore this an awful lot. I had another one that I gave away to the Goodwill probably 7 years ago, that was uncomfortable, that I had made just after that, and that one had a lot more patches, and they were like sharp on the edge, and a lot more like studs and spikes, and it was really uncomfortable to wear because I had done it badly, so like my hair would catch on the spikes, or I would like get stabbed in places, so that one's gone. But this was my very first battle vest, and that one that's gone was my sister's jacket that our aunt had given her, and she never wore it, so I was like, well, mine now. But yeah, those were how I got started with it. And then I have one more from high school that I'm going to show you once I switch to the hair and makeup appropriate for that era of my life. Anyway, back in a second. Okay, here we are back again with my high school vest number 2. This was when I decided I was going to be a more serious adult, and yeah, this makeup and hair look is because I was obsessed with Pirates of the Caribbean. I went as Captain Jack Sparrow for Halloween 2 times. Like, didn't want to put my hair in dreads because I'm white, so I just braided it into a bunch of little braids and put a bandana on it because I couldn't wear a Captain Jack hat to school, so I would use like a scarf or something instead. And yeah, that was the time. I used to braid beads into my hair too. Like I had like strands of specific glass beads that I braided in. Like I would turn my head and they would whack my face and hit my glasses. I had to run a mile once wearing the braids, and like had to run like holding the glass beads so that they wouldn't like crack a fucking tooth or something. High school. Alright. So this vest was a more serious adult vest. I didn't want so many colors. I didn't want it to be so bright and disparate, I guess. In a lot of ways, like, I wore this until it dissolved. I wore this until I was out of high school. I was literally wearing this jacket and the pants that you've seen in these clips the day I got my first job. But yeah, like I was wearing these ridiculous shredded pants and this ridiculous shredded jacket, and he was like, yeah, okay, you can have the job, but like, you gotta wear something else to work. You can't wear this to work. And it's like, dude, I didn't know I was gonna have a job today, so thanks for letting me do this training shift while I'm wearing this, but yeah, I'll wear something like less fucked up to work tomorrow. Okay. It was a weird coffee shop. But there are lots of things on this vest that I like a lot. I'm actually really sad that they're faded, and the sewing on it is better. This is more stable and solid. This is my Nola Guerra patch that I got on my junior year trip to France and Spain, because I'd been in Spanish class for 3 years, or maybe it was senior year. But that was actually during the fall of Baghdad in 2003, or 2000, I think it was 2003. And there were massive Spanish student protests, Universidades contra la Guerra. And I bought a Guernica shirt that I eventually cut the image off that said Universidades contra la Guerra with the painting of Guernica, and put that on, I think it was a pair of pants that have been lost in the sands of time. But this patch was another thing that I bought at the protest, and that was also my first protest. So that was a really, really interesting time. I was the only one in the student group who wanted to go to the protest, and so one teacher went with me, and another student who was like this big, tall, like water polo player were like, yeah, we're not gonna let you wander at a protest alone as a 17 or 16-year-old girl in a country where you don't speak the language super well, so we're coming with you. I almost got a tattoo that day too, which would have been very, very, very bad. But high school. So, and then I've got my Clash patch on this arm. I think that's the only thing on this arm. This is a lot more subtle, like it's worn to pieces, but it doesn't have as much going on as the other one. You can see where the neck is all fucked up and completely stained, because I used to dye my hair green or red or blue or pink or whatever, and then I would just immediately throw the jacket on while my hair was still wet and like seeping dye. And you can see the giant hole that got worn across the shoulders because I wore this thing for like literally 2 years every day. And I think this is the one where like it has these giant inside pockets, and I would wear this and it has a hole just big enough here that I could put my CD player, because it was the 2000s and I didn't have an MP3 player. I'd put my CD player in here, and I could run the headphone cable through this pocket, and I could run it up under my jacket, and I could listen to music in class, and the professors or teachers wouldn't notice. High school. Also very high school are the patches on this arm. NoFX, which I don't even know that I could name a NoFX song anymore. But I know I did have the Rock Against Bush album that they were on. High school. And the Ataris. The senior quote in my yearbook is actually an Atari's lyric, and it's the wrong one. Everybody was quoting the big hit that they had that year, and I quoted a completely different song, but they just copy and pasted the quote from everybody else, which was kind of a shitty thing, because I was like the editor-in-chief of the yearbook. Like, I wasn't editor-in-chief, I was one of the major editors of the yearbook, and they fucked up my senior quote. So, and then the big patch on the back is Ramones, and this was black. Like, I wore this so much that like all of the patches on this are sun-faded, because I walked home from high school wearing this, and I live in Southern California, so I was walking home from high school in like May, and it was like 90 degrees, and I was like, fuck it, I want my jacket. And yeah, so I wore this forever, and it's just beat up and sad and destroyed, and I still sometimes kind of miss it. And like, you can see where on this Atari's patch, like it got torn and it pulled away, and then I had to like re-stitch it, and so there's this little like blue strip that moved up here, and this jacket was my baby. I wore it all the fucking time, and I loved it. And I'm kind of gonna talk about the pants that I'm wearing now also. I wore these a lot in high school. I've actually owned these pants since junior high, but they're destroyed. So you can see a nice big hole on the thigh. You can see holes on the inside of the thighs, holes on the knees. I've got my peace sign military patch on that knee, and hey look, it's a butt. My parents hated that I wore these because I would wear them to school, and the ass is completely ripped out. So that's why I would wear it with a flannel always tied around my waist, because you can see my entire ass when I wear these. And yeah, these because they fell apart, became my favorites. But like when I first got them, they had these obnoxious like patches already on them. I'm trying to see. There was a smiley face on one part of them too. Like these were pants that I got at Ross for like $7 when I was, I think, 12. So I think these pants are from 1998, and I've been alley sized since 1998, so I still have these. But like, yeah, when it was cold, I would wear them with a pair of pajama pants underneath. So I've never had crust pants. This is the closest I've had to crust pants. And I was a weird like hybrid punk goth hippie in high school, and that was what I did instead of crust pants. We had a couple crust punks at school, but this was my deal, and it was, most of the patches were for the sake of repair. So the patches on the insides of the thighs were because otherwise my thighs would rub and chafe, and they were necessary because my thighs had worn away the pants. But yeah, these I think are going away. These are, I think I'm going to piece apart all of these jackets and pants and things. I'm not gonna keep them, which is a little sad. Yeah, it was a big part of my life at that time, was just being a noticeable weirdo, and from not wearing any eyeshadow and just covering my eyes in eyeliner because emo was getting big and that was more normal, to doing the weird braids and braiding in beads and things, to wearing, I used to wear like up to here of these things, and like ridiculous like fiddle toy watches and shit like that. This handcuff earring thing that I didn't have my ears pierced in high school, but immediately after high school I got my ears pierced as soon as I turned 18. This is actually how I started stretching for plugs, was I would put this handcuff thing through my ear piercing hole, and that was, I mean, it's probably like a like maybe a 6 or an 8 gauge that I just was like, oh, I'm gonna shove it through my ear or whatever. I'm 18 and have no idea how anything works. Yeah, it was fun. And then I didn't wear vests and battle jackets for several years because I had somebody who I thought was a friend, who upon reflection was an asshole, who was just like, nope, that looks awful. You look terrible. You look like you're wearing potato sacks. You don't look like a girl. You don't look like whatever. Like, you're dating a boy, but you claim you're bi, and you're just trying to be a dyke, and it's bullshit. You can't do this anymore. And like, yeah, so I stopped. I stopped being this whatever for a very long time, and with the two that I'm gonna get to showing you next, those are things that I've made in the last year as a 30-year-old adult. So I went from probably 19 to 29 without wearing these things that make me really, really happy because this one person had been just shitty to me about them, and it sucked. I got it. Sorry. These are not my glasses. These are similar to the glasses that I wore when I was first prescribed glasses, but they're my reading glasses from 2 years ago, and they're making my head hurt. Yeah, like it was just shitty, and it's like, everybody's like, oh, be yourself, whatever, and it's like, I had a fucking hard time with that. I felt really weird and self-conscious about it, but we'll get into those two jackets in a second. They're much more simple compared to the backstory and history that's gone into these other two. Anyway, see you in a sec. Bye. Okay, we are down to the last two and the end of my camera's battery life. So I'm gonna try to make this a little bit quick, and it should be anyway, because these are not as emotionally fraught. And because the look's the same, because this has been within the last like year of my life. 2 years ago I shaved my undercut, and it was a great decision. I'm really happy with it, and I started phasing out colors from my wardrobe and going back to being the sad little goth that I have always really been at heart. And in that vein, I've got a couple vests. This is my like show vest. If I'm going out someplace and going to a show, this is what I wear, largely because it means I don't have to carry a purse. It has such large pockets inside that I can throw my wallet and whatever else I need in there, and it's good to go. It's also nice, and it's warm enough for after a show, but also cool enough because it's an actual vest that it doesn't overheat me at the show, so that's really nice. Let's see. A bunch of these patches are from Etsy. They're from a seller called Retirement Fund. I'll link that because they're really good patches. So this is my Agent Cooper patch, and some pins. I've got Book Junkie. I've got Chester 5000 by Jess Fink. I've got Freak Show Deluxe, which is my friend's Freak Show. A shitload of studs. I think this has 400 studs on it, and I've done all the studding by hand, and it was a lot of work. Melvin's, who I love, a Predator pin that I actually made. I drew this and I filled it with acrylic, and it says if it bleeds you can kill it, and it glows in the dark, and I love it. I've got on the other side a nice little skeleton flipping you off, Faith No More, which is my favorite band, a black metal feminist patch. I filmed these in a garage and there's a compressor, so that startled me. Anyway, a black metal feminist patch, an Eraserhead pin, because I love David Lynch, Kurt Vonnegut, because I love Kurt Vonnegut, Iggy Pop, because I love Iggy Pop, so that all makes sense. This cute little tape deck patch, and on my shoulder, right behind where people stand at shows, it says, "Do not touch me," because do not fucking touch me at shows. I get it if you bump into people because, like, you're in a fucking pit or whatever, but I swear to God, the next person who grabs my ass, or grabs my tit, or tries to fucking finger me in the fucking pit, I'm going to fucking kill them. And yes, it's a thing that happens, and it's infuriating. If you see it to happen to somebody at a show, you beat the shit out of the person who did it. Counting on you. Anyway... this vest does not yet have a back patch. It has this skull screen printed on it, but I have some patches that I am planning on making and screen printing myself that I'm going to put together into a back patch for that. And then there's this guy, which I kind of think of more as my, like, goth vest than otherwise, and it's got this little raven skull earring that I liberated, and this was a fake pocket, so I ripped out the fake zipper of the fake pocket and closed it up with safety pins. All of the studs actually came on the vest. I found this vest for like $4 at the Goodwill, and I was like, fuck yeah. Because this was a good base to start from. I think I'm actually going to paint most of the back of this one. But at the moment, what I have done, because I don't like having my skin in contact with this material, this vinyl, when it's hot, I have made some, I made like a little yoke thing for it, and I made some darts so that there's a nice, cool, breathable area for my arms and neck to rest against. And that's all that's on here other than my Dead Kennedys patch that I put on the back just this week. I went over to my parents' house and found all of these vests that I'm showing you, and also some patches, and so there's a Ramones patch that I found and a Horror Pops, which I might actually throw onto this vest because I still like the Horror Pops and they sound rad. But that's where this guy came from, and before that it came from Hot Topic in 2004 for $4.99. Because I bought it in high school, thought I was going to put it on something, and then didn't do anything with it for 13 years. This patch is older than some children who were probably not supposed to be watching this channel. Anyway, that's what I've got. This is my little vest video. This is something that's been making me happy recently. I like working on these. I like having something soothing to do that is also very expressive. You know, crochet is kind of hard to wear in California, and I used to crochet a lot, but I'm moving back into doing the embroidery for my battle vests and putting patches on and getting into screen printing with the stuff that I draw, because I do artsy stuff. And It's been really nice overall, and I can't recommend it enough. I have a comic that I do that's a punk goth metal subculture comic, and I actually have a three-parter on how to put together a battle vest that I can link below. And I'm going to be working on a comic this weekend that's how to wash and clean and care for a battle vest. That's also pretty important because the shit can't go in the washer. Anyway, thanks very much for watching. Like and subscribe if you're interested in seeing more. And comment with any questions you have about how to put one of these things together. I am really fucking happy to tell you, because it's great having this and feeling like yourself and getting a chance to go out in the world and be comfortable. Like, I don't get to wear these every day. I don't wear these to work. This is kind of my weekend wear and my club wear and my concert wear. But, you know, if I'm just going up to get a sandwich or something in the village, like, yeah, I'm in a vest and black lipstick with my undercut because it feels right. And you should get a chance to be yourself. Like, why not? Anyway, like and subscribe, comment with questions, and y'all have a great week. Bye!